Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another 40k show. Another stream, another week, another Wednesday, another hump day. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you are all well. Firstly, he's probably not even watching, but everyone can stick a happy birthday to Paddy in the chat because it's Paddy's birthday today, 29 again. He's not here right now. He's probably coming back next week. I think he's back next Tuesday. But if you could say happy birthday to Paddy, that'd be incredible. How are you fine, wonderful folk doing? I hope you are all well on this fine... Come on, there we go. I'm trying to click something. I hope you're all well on this fine Wednesday evening. If you are one of the beautiful human beings who put a lovely comment on last night's stream after the fact, thank you so much. I think we can probably safely say... now that we have the prettiest tables on YouTube after Joe's performance last night with that beautiful table from... well, I say from Factorum, but it's actually from our good friend Daryl at LCA. So, how are you, wonderful people? How are you doing? Happy birthday, Paddy. Yeah, good people. You lot are amazing. Thank you so much. Last night, with the membership contributions as well we had from you beautiful people, we did push through our previous target for July. So I've taken the liberty tonight to reset it. There you go. It's up there now, look. Okay, that's your new target. If you would like to try and help us out, you can do multiple things. Firstly, what you can do is you can hit those beautiful YouTube buttons, hit that like if you enjoy our content, smash that subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Otherwise, if you really want to support us here, some important news tonight, chat. I haven't used this important news as clickbait title, but some important news tonight, chat, okay? Tomorrow, I'm actually talking to a man about potential studio space for the channel. And that's only been, or it's only something that's in my mind as even a remotely possibly viable option because of the support from you wonderful people. So because of all of you incredible people who have supported the channel, become members, gifted memberships, super chatted, etc., I am actually contemplating studio space. Now I'm very, very nervous. It's expensive because it's pretty big because we need it to be substantial to make it worth the move. So it is pretty expensive, so it is pretty big. But I wanted you to know all the donations you chuck at us, all the super chats you throw at us, all the gifted memberships that happen, they're all going somewhere. We are looking, hopefully, at some point in the near future to find and move into a studio place. I have viewed a place this morning that I am very interested in, and I am talking to this agent tomorrow because if we can agree the terms, it might be the place that we select. I have shared the images already in the Only Thanes WhatsApp chat. Those people have seen it because they are my Thanes. But it's because of you people. It's a genuine, humble thank you from us to you because this is the only reason why we are thinking about doing it. Still nervous right now. Still very, very nervous right now. But it's because of you people. Thank you. And I think stuff like last night kind of showcases where we're trying to go as a channel. More fun, more garage hammery kind of vibe, even if we do move into a proper studio. More narrative, more enjoyable. More what sort of 40k was kind of all about for me. And I need to be clear, I have no problems with competitive. I actually enjoy it myself. I like it. But I think in terms of a show to put on for you people, that kind of vibe was the right way to go. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We had tons of positive feedback from people. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I think hopefully Joe's narrative juices will get going and will come up with lots of options and ideas for the future. But anyway, in the meantime, massive thank you, Sir Galahad, the Grail Hunter, for upgrading to Jarl tier. Make sure in Discord now you get yourself in the Jarls only giveaway, which is active until Friday. Everybody who's a Jarl can, in fact, enter that giveaway, or above, for that matter. And then on Friday, it will be drawn at 10 PM UK time, and you'll win a Combat Patrol box of your choice. And then a big shout out to Starius, who's gifted 10 of the finest memberships already. What an absolute legend. I will add them to my tracker in just a moment. But the reason why I won't do that now is because I have something to share with you people, which I'm assuming for most of you isn't actually news. It isn't news, but I think it's an interesting article from the amazing people at James Workshop. So we're going to share the screen right now. And this came out on the 24th of July. So this came out on Monday. And I actually avoided talking about it on last night's stream too much because I didn't want to tarnish that stream and I wanted it for tonight's content. Okay. And it is this article on the Warhamster community page from the 24th of July 2023. Space Marine range updates.
If GW wants to get rid of Firstborn, I wish they would just rip the band-aid off instead of doing it in parts or giving us false hope.
Tyler, thank you so much for the 10. We're going to get into that, okay? I'm going to add a caveat right now. Okay, I'm going to add a caveat right now before I go into this topic for tonight. When I say good or bad question mark in the stream title, I don't know where I sit on this. I genuinely don't know. We'll get into that though. However, we're going to read through this article first. The new, so bikes, land speeders, and more are soon zooming off into the sunset. The new edition of Warhammer 40,000 is finally with us, and that means that a new Space Marine Codex is looming on the horizon. Coming later this year, it will bring with it a host of new reinforcements from Battle Adeptus Astartes forces across the Imperium. The Space Marine range is already huge, so to make room for the glorious new miniatures, we're letting some of the longest serving kits depart the range for a well-earned retirement. There's a full list below. Fans of Firstborn Space Marines should know no fear though. Contrary to heretical whispers in the newer sphere, they are not being erased from the 41st millennium. The new Space Marine Codex still includes plenty of non-Primaris units, if that's your preference. Tactical squads will still be driving around in rhinos, fighting under the covering fire of Devastator squads, and so on. Many departing units have a contemporary analogue that you can use instead. So storied bike squads that has served you and the Emperor for 20 years could stay in your army using rules for Outriders. In other cases, there's data sheets that fill the bill for multiple units, so while assault squads are going away, you can still use the rule for Vanguard veterans to play with them. The Venerable Dreadnought also stays in the new codex, but has shortened its name to just Dreadnought and can be used to represent older plastic or metal dreadnoughts. There's some departing units like the Thunderfire Cannon or Landspeeder that won't have an appropriate analogue in the new codex, but the rules will just shift to Warhammer Legends and will be free to download here on Warhammer Community. This means that you can keep using them in all your games with the exception of competitive Warhammer 40,000 events like tournaments. In most cases, these rules will be similar, if not identical, to the ones that were in the recent Index deck. So without further ado, these are the units that are going last chance to buy in the next few days. We're going to break this article down in just a few moments. We're going to say a massive thank you to Fate's Daydreamer for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. So what they're losing, attack bikes doesn't really have an alternative. Really. I don't think you can use the ATV. Bike squads, okay, you could use them as Outriders. Scout bike squads, no alternative. Landspeeder, no alternative. Landspeeder Storm, no alternative. Stalker Hunter, no alternative. Ironclad Dreadnought, probably no alternative. Assault squads as Vanguard Vets, okay. You could use them as Vanguard Vets, but now War Gear is free. Who's taking bolt pistols and chainswords on their Vanguard Vets? Fucking no one. So not really usable. Company Command Squad. Scouts, probably no alternative. Scout Snipers that they've just made really good in the Index and loads of people bought loads of them of. Not really usable. A Librarian, probably not all that usable. A Tech Marine with Servitors and a Thunderfire Cannon, again, not all that usable. So, firstly, most of this actually is going to become unusable in terms of proxying other data sheets. Secondly, Legends, as we've discussed on the channel before, is sending a unit to die. It is putting a unit in an old people's home before it finally passes away and loses rule support. Legends rules don't continue for 3 or 4 editions. That's not what happens. Legends is where you send a unit to die. Okay? So when it says their rules will still shift to Legends and will be free to download in Warhammer Community, this means you can keep using them in all your games. That's also bullshit, as we've talked about. Because for most pickup games, players aren't normally comfortable with people using Legends rules. In fact, Legends rules are so infrequently used that it's kind of a laughable statement. And if they knew their game and their audience, they'd probably be aware that that was the thing. That was something that happens. Okay. So I'll explain something very, very quickly to you people, because I kind of said at the start that I wasn't sure where I sit on this one, and I am not sure where I sit on this one. And I'll explain. On the one hand, they have stated they're bringing out new Space Marine units, okay? We have already seen the new Stern Guard, the new Flamer Dudes, the new Terminators, etc. from the Leviathan box. All great models, lovely looking kits, big fan of them. They did a great job with those models, right? They did a great job with those models. So no questions there, no issues there whatsoever. That being said, we also knew, because of what was going on in this recent campaign, that they were going to be unveiling either new Tyranid models or new Space Marine models. And my first reaction to that, well, I had 2 reactions. Firstly, I was like, well, Tyranids won't lose. Space Marines will just win that, because fucking Games Workshop Professor Dumbledore will come in right at the end there and offer 50 points to Space Marines, and then they'll just win. That actually didn't happen. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by that one, to give them some credit. So Tyranids won. Tyranids won that one. And we got showcased tons of Tyranids. If you think about how many Tyranids were shown, they would have been shown probably equal amounts of new Space Marines. Which brings me on to my second thought. My second thought was, oh great, more Space Marines.
I'm gutted my 3 Ironclads and 3 Dreadnought drop pods are now going in the bin. I am now done after this last month balling.
Balling? I'm now done after this last month balling. What do you mean, Kai? Thank you for the 10, by the way, Kai. You're a legend and I love you. One of the heroes of the channel. One of the reasons, one of the people as to why we can, in fact, consider things like a studio space. Also, big shout out Lee Panda for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. I will add those 20 to the running total just a minute. Will Master Will. They were giving a warning, unlike Krieg engineers. Thank you for the 2. Yeah. So on the one hand, I was thinking that the thought that it provoked in me was, oh great, more Space Marines, more Space Marine data sheets, even more data sheets. I don't know if you've seen the index card pack. I'm assuming that's Meg. Meg from the Hobby Collab, thank you so much for the 10 and for the little heart. Aww. If you haven't checked out Hobby Collab, by the way, you should check them out. Meg and Zach, formerly of Titans, have built their own channel, gone their own separate way. It's incredible. Go hang out with those guys on the Hobby Collab channel because it's great stuff. There you go. I've given you a shout out now, just for the super chat. Thanks, Meg. That's what you pay for, right? Aside from that, you're paying for that other thing we can't talk about live on stream. I'm not sure which one it is. I thought that one was worth more than 10 though, but you know. So yeah, I was thinking like even more Space Marine data sheets. We've already got an index box that's about that big for the Space Marine data sheets. Now we're gonna have even more Space Marine data sheets. That's a problem. I don't want more. Okay, I want less, if anything.
Yeah, when I said I was bringing my white scars back to Factorum. Just got myself some scout bikes to add more flavour to the army. Should have had this prior to indexes coming out, in my opinion.
Tim, we'll get that. Thank you for the 15, Tim. I love you. So, I was, when I saw this, originally kind of really happy that we're just seeing less Space Marine units until I kind of reread it and was like, oh, no, they're making room for more Space Marine units. So initially I was happy. I was like, this is a good thing. We do need to thin out the Space Marine herd. I know Space Marine players will hate this. I get it. Space Marine players will hate this. So initially, when I first saw this, I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be honest. I was really positive. I was like, this is a good thing. Space Marines should be thinned out. If you look at the amount of options they have comparatively with every other faction, they should have more because of the poster boys, but they don't just have more. They have an incredible amount more than everybody else. So I was really positive. Okay, I thought this was a good thing. I reread the article and I realised that at that point they were stating that these were going to be making room for other Space Marine units, and I kind of twigged, well, that makes sense, because if they would have won the campaign, they'd have showcased those Space Marine units instead of the Tyranid units on the recent live stream. By the way, GW, if you're watching, please get some more interesting presenters to do those shows. Anyway, so we're not actually necessarily reducing data sheets. Maybe we are by 1 or 2, but we're kind of just swapping data sheets. So the problem of Space Marine bloat isn't really going away, is it? It's kind of staying. And that kind of dampens some of my positivity about getting rid of Space Marine data sheets and thinning the herd slightly. Then I realised one of the biggest issues I have with this whole thing. If you're going to do this, you probably do it in the transition from 9th to 10th edition. You probably don't release index cards for all of those units that you've just said are going on last chance to buy. So we've essentially done in the 24th of June to the 24th of July is you've given Space Marine players a whole month with their brand new index to buy up all the scout snipers and all the other units that you've made semi-decent before going, by the way, lol, we're getting rid of them. That is not really acceptable in my opinion. That is my biggest problem. My biggest problem isn't the fact that we're probably not seeing a reduction in Space Marine data cards. My biggest problem is the, hey, here's all the rules. There's a month of buying all the models, and now we're taking them all away again. I've got other questions as well. They're removing Space Marine bikers, they're removing Space Marine land speeders. So what happens to Ravenwing? What happens to Ravenwing bikers? What happens to Ravenwing land speeders? What happens to Ravenwing land speeders, Vengeance, and the Dark Shroud? I assume they're all staying. We don't really know. But if you're now going to run a Ravenwing army, you can't take normal bikers anymore because they're kind of going to be gone. You're going to have to take Outriders. How's that work? You can't take attack bikes. How many attack bikes do Ravenwing players have? Loads, I would expect. Okay. I just have a real issue yet again with how they've gone about doing this, because it seems dishonest and it seems like they've released rules, they've sold kits, and now they're taking those rules away. Now, I want to be honest with you people. I don't think that's been done intentionally. I'm going to defend GW slightly here. And I'm going to say that they haven't done this intentionally. I don't think what they've actually done is release index rules to get you to buy models to then remove them from play in the future. I don't think they've gone, we've got loads of scout kits, but we do know that we want to remove scouts. So what we'll do is we'll make them good, we'll release them for a month, we'll sell everything out, and then we'll go, last chance to buy. We've got rid of our stock. I don't actually think they've done that. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're agile enough or clever enough to do that. So I don't think that's a thing. I don't think they've done that. Honestly, I don't think they've done that. But what they have still done is release rules for units, allowed you to buy them, and a month later say, by the way, we're going to stop supporting these when the codex comes out. That's something that should have been done during the edition change, in my opinion. So I never thought I'd say this. When removing Space Marine units from the game, I never thought I'd make this particular statement. But I think the way they've done this is bad. I do, however, think that removing Space Marine datasheets, rather than just flat adding more, is good. So I do feel very, very sorry for people like Tim, who's gone and bought more bikers to add to his White Scars, who's just been told they're going to be basically moved to Legends. I feel really sorry for you people. I think it's been done badly, but I am pro the removal of Space Marine datasheets. This is what I mean, chat. I'm in this really weird in-between space. On the one hand, thank God they're not just updating and adding more and more and more and more datasheets to Space Marines. On the other hand, the way you've done it's really bad, GW. Come on, how can you not see how this would look to people? It's a real juggling act for me right now, and I don't know quite where I sit on this one specifically. So I want to get your thoughts. I want to speak to you people in chat. I want to know what you people think about this. It's really hard for me to decide where I actually sit on this one. Right? Really hard. Anyway, I'm going to jump into chat right now. Okay, so we said thank you to Hobby Cola. We said thank you for the Tim for the 15. Thank you, you beautiful, wonderful humans. We said thank you to Legio Panda for the 5 gifted, I think. If we didn't, thank you, Legio Panda, for the 5 gifted. Mink said thank you for the 5. I really just paint and don't play much. The silver lining for me is getting decent prices on older used kits. Positive. I like people that take a positive spin. Face Adrian
was going to make a Fallen list based off the Lions book for the Factorum GTs. Have to make it now for the narrative events as over 50% is doing Legends.
I think there's a whole other stream in Legends and what I think about Legends. Because the way that they use the Legends rules is that we're not taking it away from you. You can have Legends rules. And yet, when they write Legends rules, they obviously have to be considering the current balance at the time to write Legends rules. We've done most of the work. But really, it's just an excuse for we're getting rid of it, but we don't want to give you a reason to moan at us. We want to have that comeback that lets us say, it's just going to Legends, you can still use it. And I feel like Legend it's going to have Legends rules as GW's essentially get out of jail free card, right? That's what I think that is. And I don't, yeah. It's a shame, Tim. But at least you've got the narrative events to go to, right? So you can still use stuff. Face Adrian, thank you for the 5. I will still use my Librarian Tech Marines bikes and their Primaris version. As their Primaris version. Fuck it. The Ironclad is a Dreadnought. As for the other, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it does. I mean, some of them having options is good. You know what? Originally, I'll be honest with you people as well, because I don't like just being negative. I was also planning a very positive stream when they did something recently where they were like, hey, look, here is a proxy kind of matrix for stuff that you can use and data sheets you can use it with. Oh, that was a great thing for them to do. For once, I was like, that's really good that they've actually gone, all this stuff that you've got that you can't really use anymore, here's a proxy matrix. I mean, arguably they shouldn't put people in that position in the first place, but the fact they've actually gone to the time and trouble to go, this you can use as this and this you can use this, I thought was really positive. And they do this, and it just kind of sucks a little bit. Rat Bastardly, what a great name. Thank you for joining the channel as a Hasir tier member. You're a hero! Exclamation mark Discord. Come and join us in the Discord server. Now you're a member. It will unlock all of the Discord server for you as long as you've connected it all correctly. So come and join us in Discord. You absolute legend. If you love what you see, you can also check out all of our other tiers and what those different tiers offer you as well, right? Molecule Cody. I don't know if that's still Michael or not, but I like the fact that that's Molecule Cody. This is why I've put Dark Angels on hold. Too many of those models are destined to die, yeah. That's a shame, isn't it? Thank you for the 5 that you're a hero. Alex, thank you for the gifted membership. James, thank you for the 5. 10th Ed feels like the addition with less flavour. Imagine if GW decided to take out this many units from Harlequins. They'd be in negative numbers. My poor Harlequins, James. My poor Harlequins. Makes me sad. Makes me very, very sad. Anyway, let me know people in chat. Let me know what you think. Right, Ghastly says I will actually disagree for once with Liam has made. Hang on, I will actually disagree for once. Liam has they made all unique rules for these units, made them looked good and fun, and now purged them when they could have done it before. Have what? Ghastly, I don't know if it's my reading. I'm struggling with that one. I hope it's international timing. Otherwise, it's really incompetent. Intentional timing. Otherwise, it's really incompetent. I genuinely can't see how they won't have known they were scrapping these units months ago and think I'm being generous there. I don't know whether I don't know whether I hope it's intentional or incompetent. I don't know. I'd argue that I probably would hope it was incompetent rather than intentional, because intentional just makes them feel real evil, and incompetent makes it go, it wasn't intentional. They're not just trying to fuck customers. It's just the way things have panned out. I don't know. I'm looking at ways to convert my land speeders into counts as ATVs. ATVs are ugly anyway. ATVs are ugly anyway. Resil, 100% agree with you. You are the first ever streamer I have subscribed to. I love this channel and wish you all the success. Rat Bastard, thank you so much. What a hero. What an absolute legend. To be honest, I've always preferred WYSIWYG, but never enforced it. I literally never would now. Want to run your speeder tornado as an impulsor? No problem. You shout out the cash for it. That's an interesting concept, that people are literally reverting their views on certain things. We've had this chat on the channel, right? Because of the way kind of 10th is, we've talked on the channel about options, you know, like okay, so we talked about Vanguards with that particular article. I said, well, no one's going to use them as Vanguard veterans because you wouldn't equip your Vanguard veterans with a chainsaw and bolt pistol. You'd equip them all with special weapons because they're fucking free now. So if someone came to me and said, I'm in a real tough spot. Someone came to me and said, I've got 10 Vanguard vets here. Some of them have got chainsaws and bolt pistols, and some of them have got this and that. But actually, they've all got, and I don't know what their options are for this data sheet, to be clear, chat, all right? So pinch of salt. Actually, they've all got thunder hammers and storm shields. There's a little part of me nowadays that would be inclined to let them just do it. Honestly, if they said to me, if they had 5 Vanguard vets and 2 had bolt pistols and chainsaws and 2 had power fists and 1 had a thunder hammer, and they said, oh, one's got a power sword, one's got a power axe, one's got a thunder hammer, and I'll be like, no, okay. It's too confusing to work out what's on the table versus what you're actually bringing. But if they said all 5 are thunder hammer storm shields because it's free now, I'd be like, you know what, cool, okay. I'm fine with it, because I feel really bad for people who have been building units based on points costs for so long to allow them to build something into a nice 2,000 point list or something, and they're now kind of screwed.
Terry's some great examples of Legends units that could have a second wind. Terminus Ultra Land Raider is armor killer and would be great. It even comes with assault ramp and 0 transport capacity.
I saw that, James. I saw that. That's golden rules writing right there. It's got an assault ramp so you can charge out of it. No transport capacity. Big brain plays. Big brain plays. It means you can deploy it and tell your opponent, it's got an assault ramp, so I can charge out of this. And then when you drive it up the field, he goes, what's inside it? Oh no, can't carry anything. Big brain plays that, James. But thank you for the 10. You're an absolute hero. Hobby funnel, isn't it? Being said, they don't care as much about the long-term collectors. I don't.
The most persuasive argument is that a player just lost 700+ pounds in figures that were erased by GW today. That to me, intentionally or not, is wrong. Replacement cost for new insults.
Neil, thank you for the 10. This is the thing, right? I don't think it's intentional, and I am a little bit more forgiving, and I mean a little bit more forgiving, if it's not intentional, if it's just incompetence. I'm a little bit more forgiving. I'm still not, let's be clear, I'm still not that forgiving of what's going on here, because incompetence at a company making this, the size of a company making this much money is still not really acceptable. And we are being positive. Like, I'll be honest with you, in terms of the fun that Joe and I had last night on the narrative game, I had so much fun last night on that narrative game that we played. Like, we came off stream, we came off camera, and I was like, I found my way of enjoying 40k in 10th edition at the moment. I think this is great fun. And what we also did for a lot of that game was play a lot of WYSIWYG, because we're like, you know what? When you're not playing competitive, when you're not hyper-optimizing and you're not playing an opponent who's hyper-optimizing, actually just playing WYSIWYG isn't that bad. So if my Lehman Russes didn't have side sponsors, I didn't shoot them. You know, we did that on purpose last night, And actually, it was tons of fun and it wasn't too stressful. And I didn't have to remember things that weren't on models that were on models, if that makes sense. So that was really good. I actually really enjoyed that last night. So I would say on the whole at the moment, I'm more positive than negative at the moment because we've had so much fun mucking around with this narrative stuff. Okay. But this Space Marine thing is a bit weird. I feel like the sense I'm getting from you guys in chat at least is that this just is another... I don't want to use the phrase nail in the coffin. As a man who's thinking about renting studio space in the very, very, very near future to try and expand my business of covering 40k as a content creator, I don't want to say nail in a coffin because that would make that investment a bad choice because we're suggesting that people will get disinterested and they will kind of turn off to this in the near future, and I'm hoping that's not the case.
I believe in reducing the range is good for the game. I do think the Proxy Matrix is a good thing, and I think events should allow this and relax Wizarding while we are using power level.
We are using power level, Sarius, we are. I'm going to say it again. I hate saying it. I'm going to say it again. I agree with everything you just said. Reducing the range is good. If they're dropping off those like 12 data sheets or whatever it is, and they're bringing in 6, it's a positive step in the right direction. But I still think they should have done it at the start of 10th rather than doing it after the index cards have come out. The Proxy Matrix was a great thing that they did. Really, really good thing that they did. I'm like massive, massive fan of that, genuinely. So they're doing, and this is the problem now. There was a release today on, I think it was their investor page about, and this is where it creates big feel bads, right? There was a release today on their investor page about how much money they're making. And it's not an insignificant amount of money. And if you're watching their share price is climbing as well. The business is doing very well. It's making loads of money, right? So when it's making loads of money, there is a little part of me that's saying, well, if you didn't treat your customers like shit, you'd probably make even more money, okay? So that's the first thing. If you didn't say, hey, here's loads of rules, month later, oh, by the way, we're getting rid of them. I'll get to you, history, don't worry, don't you worry. I'll get there. If they were more open and honest with what was going on.
Glad to hear of a potential new space, Starstruck. More space equals more wonderful content. About Legends rules, I'm not so confident as they are struggling to make real rules. But hey, let's eyes for silver linings.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adrian, for the 50. Romanian, you legend, you hero, I love you. We are trying, by the way, chat, just so you're aware. We are trying to hit 100 members a stream at the moment. Part of this is because of this new potential space, and I have been talking to the Only Things tonight, and if we get hold of this new space and we get set up in this new space, the intent is we bring more content to the channel as well because of the setups we'll be able to put into this new space. Okay, that's the intention. So we'll get there. So there was an investor page update today, right? Talk about how much money they're making, which is fine. I have no problems with companies making money. I'm not one of those people that goes, fuck the corporation. I actually don't mind companies making money. I don't even mind shareholders making money. I do mind companies and shareholders making money when it's really heavily at the detriment to the end user or the customer, because I feel like that's a short-term win rather than a long-term win. So I think the focus normally always as a company has to be looking after the customer, so that although short-term you might make slightly less than you would do otherwise, longer-term it's more sustainable. And you probably see more growth. If your customers are engaged, if your customers feel looked after, they're probably more likely to spend more money in the longer term. It's my theory. I don't have a business degree. I run a YouTube channel, for Christ's sake. So, you know, I'm not head of a major fucking corporation. Just theorizing. What they also did on that investor release was they showcased imagery from their new updated website, which also looks really, really good. And they talk about bringing in a points tracking system for games in the app, and they do, and this is the thing. Bad news travels faster than good. They're doing good things. They're doing good things. The Proxy Matrix is a good thing. And then they do this. It's like, why can't you do your good thing and then just leave it to be a good thing that we can celebrate? Because you are doing good things. And then you do this. And this is nonsense, in my opinion. And I want rid of Space Marines. This is wildly controversial. And I'm sure they would, as a company, would have got murdered for this if they did this. I'm wrong here, to be clear. What I'm about to say, I'm wrong. And they shouldn't have done this. Because they would have got lynched. I'm the person who wanted to just scrap Firstborn. I wanted rid of Firstborn. I prefer the Primaris scale. I even prefer the Primaris armor pattern, if I'm honest with you. I like Primaris armor. I like Gravis. I don't like the stupid jumpy dudes. I like Gravis. I like Reaver armor or Phobos armor. I like standard Mark 10 armor. I prefer Primaris. I'm the person who wanted rid of Firstborn altogether. So for them to be reducing Space Marine datasheet numbers, I think is a positive thing. I do think it's a positive thing. And if they are releasing more Space Marine units, I'm hoping they're releasing less than they're getting rid of. I genuinely believe that. And I hope the ones that they're releasing kind of fulfill the same roles as the ones that they're getting rid of. If that makes sense. So you don't necessarily want them to get rid of all of these unit choices, which are fast, speedy, aggressive unit choices, which is what they all are. And what they then bring in is just more infantrymen with special weapons. I don't want them to do that. So I want them to reduce more. I want them to reduce more Space Marines because Space Marine datasheet numbers are currently ridiculous. I want them to reduce more, but not like this. Not by releasing them, giving them rules for a month, and then getting rid of them. This is a silly thing to do. This is terrible. Right, anyway, Trench, thank you for becoming a member. Paul Carey, thank you for gifting 5. I will get those 26 gifted and chuck them in the tracker in just a moment. In the meantime, there's some super chats I need to catch up on. History's Mystery, thank you so much for the 5. My Sons of Medusa army is sad. The Chapter Master, Valen Cal, is now only playable as a Firstborn Tech Marine. Dude crossed the Rubicon in the lore. Where's his model? If you cross the Rubicon in the lore, can't you just use a Primaris Tech Marine rule or something? Can you do that? Thank you for the 5 then, man. You're a hero. What a legend. Love you. Tyler, thank you for the 5. Legend is like the farm that parents tell kids the cat or dog is going to when they are being put down. Exactly. Legends is where units go to die. Don't be fooled by GW when they say you can still play them. They're legends. Legends is where they go to die. That's a fact. Michael, thank you for the 5. Yes, it's still me. I'm at T-Sun's main now, so I should be mostly safe. If they retire any of that line, the army just stops working. I mean, they're also relatively recent, so I think you're perfectly fine. Warmaster, thank you for the 5. I'm at £3,000 of my CSM that has now moved to Legends. I dread to think how much money that has. No rules or is Legends in my Krieg. Oh, Will. Everyone hugs in chat for Will. So much Forge World that is unusable or unplayable now in both Chaos Space Marines and in Krieg. Hugs in chat for Will. Honestly. Davey, thank you for the 2. Fuck it, Legend Tourney. A Legend Tournament would be a great thing to do. I love that idea. I love that idea.
Get rid of the old Marine models. At least that way we don't have to hear Chaos players cry about how much resin they've lost. Also, they have had replacements. Eldar just get rules, not new models.
Oh, don't complain as a fucking Eldar player, Steve. Jesus. That's a way to get yourself hated by chat in no time at all. I like how we were just talking about hugs for Master Will after Steve put that in as well. Beautiful. Thank you for the 10 though, Steve. You're a hero. Oh, Luton's in chat. Hey, Luton. How you doing? I've been hyperventilating enough this week as it is, he says. Are you going to the event at Warhammer World on the weekend, Liam? No. Is it this weekend, the event at Warhammer World? Is there an event at Warhammer World this weekend? No. Are you there? Is that what you're asking? I could possibly make myself free on the Saturday and drive up just to come and meet you for a beer. That's a thing I could do, if you're about. I think I also saw another channel legend in here somewhere. Where is he? There he is. Big Bad Kirioth is in here as well, by the way. So we shouted out about Hobby Collab earlier, Meg and Zach. Luton in chat and Kirioth are also 2 incredible channels. Kirioth just started doing a load more streaming, so go check him out. And Luton is Luton. If you don't know who he is, where have you been? Legend of 40k content, so check him out as well if you haven't. But just make sure you all tell them that you came from me. Even if you're already subscribed, just be like, Liam sent them. Just tell them that. Makes me feel important, right? Got to stir the pot, says Steve. Of course you are. It doesn't matter how old the models are. When GW put them in the index, implied they were fine, and they were bin, and then they bin them out the blue. That's the problem. Putting them in the index is the problem.
On a positive note, they've changed an unplayable enhancement for my Votan and others, but not made any announcement on the changes, which is weird after this, or did I miss that?
I think they did announce the changes. I'm sure they did. The app changed a load of stuff today, chat, by the way. If you weren't aware, the app changed a load of stuff right now, recently today. And I think there was an article about... Was there an article about it, or am I dreaming? Oh, no. I mean, we've got an article about shit Instagram filters, but not about the updates that I can see. News? Nope. Features? Nope. Fiction? Nope. Just an article about shit Instagram features. And then another one about 40 years of Warhammer in the 40k section, oddly. How strange.
As a follower of the Khan, I am sad that all the bike stuff has gone. The ATV is a wanky replacement for the attack bike, so wouldn't have been as bitter if Primaris offering wasn't so goddamn bonk.
Are the weapon options similar though for the ATV or the attack bike? I don't know.
You can't congratulate them on clearing bloat when all they've done is increase it with every Primaris model for 2 years. Primaris models multiplying like rabbits. There's no plan, they just don't care.
Tom, thank you for your first ever super chat. Made me chuckle as well. They are multiplying like rabbits. I'm not congratulating them for clearing bloat, but I am saying they need to clear bloat. They need to clear more bloat. Okay? Yes, they did do an article. Okay, I couldn't find the article. So some people can find it, some people can't. But they have made some changes. They've made a fair few changes. By the way, also, okay, I predicted this and it came true. Surprise, fucking surprise. They made me look like a cunt again, right? It's the one time I'll use that word tonight, but they did. So when they did the Imperial Knights showcase for the previews leading up to 10th edition, there was a lot of argument for you guys in chat whether the nightly household rules meant reroll all hit rolls and wound rolls of 1, or reroll 1 hit roll and 1 wound roll of 1. I text a member of the studio team on the night live. I'm not going to share his details, nor am I going to share the actual message, nor am I going to screenshot it. I'm not that kind of person, but I text him. He's a friend of mine and a contact. So I texted him and said, is this all or one of each? And he replied with all. And if you ever go back and watch that stream, I got the message and said, he says all, he's confirmed it's all, and he went, pretty strong, huh? I was like, yeah, fucking, that's mental. Okay. My name has also been bandied about on other streams. It was even brought up on the Art of War stream. Liam has been told by GW it's all hit rolls and wound rolls of 1. Because that is what they told me. That is what they told me. That's what me and Bridget played, because that's what they told me. I think I showed Bridget the message. That's what we played. And they FAQ'd it today to say 1 hit roll of 1 and 1 wound of 1. I told you they would do that. I told you if they edited it and changed it, they would just do that. They don't have the bollocks to come out and say the intent was all hits and wounds. However, we've realised that's far too strong. So what we're actually going to do is say it's just 1 of each. They don't be honest about this stuff. They're never going to tell you the truth. I just look like an arsehole now. I just look like an arsehole. So, but I told you that was going to happen. I told you that was going to happen, chat. I predicted that. I knew that was coming. I'm just gonna chill. Just gonna chill right now. Fucking annoyed the shit out of me. I wouldn't mind, but I asked so I could give you guys clarity, got an answer, and then they've gone back on their answer. It would be stupid to drive all the way there, mate. When we both live in the south, it would be easy for me to just drive over to you for the afternoon one day. I mean, you're welcome as well, Luton. You're welcome. But if we don't do it at Warhammer World, how do we fight off the thousands of screaming fans? How does that happen? They clearly changed their mind since, because guess what? Knights are crazy strong. Soups, yeah. Oh, hey, Soups, by the way. Yeah, you're right, 100%. They've obviously changed it. This is where I say this so many times. This is how I think they fix so many of their problems, right? And maybe I'm wrong, chat. Again, maybe you can tell me that I'm talking nonsense here. But this is where they fix so many of their problems, okay? Communication. Tell us intent. Admit you got it wrong. Tell us change. I would. It's never going to happen, I think. The other thing you can do, complete silence, change. Which one's better? It doesn't cost you anymore to say the intent was all hits and wounds. We've realised actually, now it's being played, that's incredibly powerful. We're actually going to change it to a hit and a wound roll of 1. I'll be like, cool, thank you for fixing the game so quickly. Good. Danny Smith, thank you for the 5. I swear that they have reroll a hit roll written for other units. They do. And I said it means all because of slow rolling. So same wording, different rule. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I am lucky there because 90% of people don't know my face because I don't stick it in every video. No, but you do on Twitch streams. That's how I saw what you look like. And I'll be honest with you, chat. Easy wank. Oh, I needed to update the members totals, didn't I? We're on 28 new members. We are nowhere near the 100 we need, chat. Hang on, 50. And then maths 6-5. Did it, nailed it, chat. We're there, nailed it. I could do maths and shit. Narrative battle 1 month. Easy way to clear bloat. Go back to points and have Tacticus, Phobos, Gravis, and Firstborn, then point weapon loadouts. This is a complete joke at the moment. It says anger on Leghorn. I'm going to be honest with you people, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm back to having fun because of the content we're now making and we're looking at making. I'm back to actually having fun with it. I think that if you are, so here's my kind of view of 10th as a complete thing right now. If you're playing competitively or if you're playing pickup games with people who you don't really know, I actually think it's a hot mess right now. I don't think it will be a pleasant experience. Okay, I don't think it'll be a pleasant experience. If, however, you're playing with friends who you know and trust, who aren't just trying to kick each other's dicks in, which sometimes does happen, and you're there to have fun and enjoy yourselves, I think it's still possible to do that. I think that's still something you can definitely 100% do. Absolutely, without doubt, can do. Okay, so I'm still kind of positive. I think most people that I play are people that I know, and so we can have that conversation beforehand. We can be like, well, what you bring in roughly, because I don't want to bring an Eldar list that's just going to absolutely smash you, you know, for example. And so we can have that kind of grown up conversation. We can get to a point where we're like, you know what, we're going to have fun. Last night, I have no idea how many points of Tyrannus Joe had. I have no idea how many points of Imperial Guard I had. We just put models on the table and played. We literally made rules up an hour before we went live and talked to you guys about it when we went live. The wall toughness, the wall wounds, how we're going to attack things, how Joe's units are going to come back on, what the wing. We just made it up, and I think we both had tons of fun.
I will not be buying any more 40k now. I've decided to buy a Ninja air fryer. Much happier outcomes.
Don't make me laugh, chat. I've still got this horrible fucking COVID-y cough. Brilliant, Kai. Much happier for outcomes, yeah. Do you know what, right? Do you know what? Here's the thing. One of the reasons why I personally, genuinely love the hobby and love the community, genuinely, is because people like Joe exist, right? Don't tell him I said this. He won't watch the stream, but don't tell him I said this. But because people like Joe exist, I personally believe that 40k, right, controversial opinion time. You can quote me on this one later, chat. I personally believe that current 40k is in a worse state than at the end of 7th edition. Hot take. I personally think it's in a worse state. I've still got models on my desk that I'm painting. I've got models in the spray booth that I'm painting. I've got models I'm excited to build. Joe's looking at all these different armies that he wants to put together. We're getting excited about narrative games we can play. I love people like Joe because the game is an absolute shit show and we're having fun with it. And I think a lot of gamers, a lot of 40k players out there in general, a lot of fans of the hobby can still have fun with it, even though it's currently a state. Now, to some extent, when it's really dialed in on its competitive balance, I would argue I have slightly so there was occasions in 9th edition, for example. I'm putting a big spin now on the fact that 40k is currently a shit state. I'm putting a positive spin on the fact that 40k is currently a shit state. There were moments in 9th edition. When the game was really tuned in, where I had less fun than I'm currently having in 10th edition. And my reasons for that was things were a foregone conclusion. I can do this and I can do that, and I reroll hits and wounds, and I get this many mortal wounds, blah, 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 blah. So basically what we're saying is, and you see this on streams and battle reports, Titans forever calling an Uber. Just pick up the unit. You're going to kill me. I'm just going to pick the unit up. And I would argue that to some extent, foregone conclusions, things that are so dialed in that you just know that efficiently that unit will kill that unit without some random wild dice-based anomaly. I don't like that. I'd rather not have that. Now, some of the nonsense that's going on right now is just because the rules are written poorly. They're just written badly. And we've seen that. The amount of changes, tweaks, erratas, and FAQs that have come out within 1 month and 2 days of the game being out proves that it was just written lazily and badly. But I don't want that dialed in efficiency. I don't want that dialed in efficiency. I want fun. I want random. I want interesting and I want enjoyable. And although 10th is a hot mess, it has a lot of that random. It does. I find it At times I find it difficult because we have to play multiple armies on the channel, and we are struggling because every army now has an ability. And there's just nothing's like... I thought the idea of bringing in universal special rules, for example, was to simplify a lot of the ruling. I feel like we haven't simplified. I feel like we've gone more complicated with rules than we were at 9th, which is fine. Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying change it all now, burn it all to the ground and go back. I'm not saying that. We can't do that. We've got what we've got. And here's the thing, right? 380 people in chat right now. Okay? A moment ago, 400 people in chat, right? And most of us, maybe not all of us, most of us are going to continue playing 40k. Even in this hot mess. We will. Because we love it. Because we love the narrative, we love the setting, we love the universe, we love the people that we play with, we love the experience. For me personally, I like the social aspect of it. I like bumping into people and instantly having connection because we have this shared passion. And so this is what I was talking to you guys about last week when I talked about narrative 40k. If you think about all the things I've just said, we love the narrative setting, we love the model range, we love how cool the grimdark universe is. You take out the rules, a lot of us still love 40k. Not all of us, granted. A lot of us still love 40k if you take out the rules. And so, play for fun. Go and enjoy yourselves. Because I think you can enjoy yourselves. Anyway, back to Space Marines. Yeah, they shouldn't have done it like this. Blight Lord Emil, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, you absolute hero. Easton, thank you for the 1, you legend. Hang on, what's going on? Oh, here we go. I've got some other super chats I missed out. And Danny, thank you for the 5. I swear that they have reroll a hit roll. Oh, we've done that one. Thank you, man. You're a hero. Lehman, thank you for the 2. Have you seen the change to favoured of Khorne once per battle round? Yes, I have. I have indeed. Minkster, thank you for the 5. I remember when computer games didn't need updates on launch and GW released additions and codexes that worked 100% from day one. I'm old. Have they? Okay, Minkster, are you lying to us? Have they ever released an edition and a codex that worked 100% from day one? Has that ever been the thing? I think that's ever been a thing. History Schmistry, thank you for the 5. Why didn't GW just make 2 different types of detachments for Codex Space Marines? Firstborn only and Primaris only. Seems like an easy solution. I mean, that is a direction that they could have gone. I still think they need to do more thinning out of Space Marines. Don't shoot me, chat. I still want rid of things like Firstborn. Here's the thing I would have done.
I play the game narratively. Make a campaign for a buddy and tie in aeronautica and boarding actions and a sort of kill team where a smaller group of guys dive into a building.
That sounds fucking cool. That sounds like lots of fun. We've had a few since we started last night. Excuse me. Again, I apologise. I'm still getting over this illness. It's unbelievable. After last night, we've had tons of people going, you should do this, you should do this. There's some great ideas coming at us as well. Keep throwing at us, people. Your people are amazing. By the way, 34 new members so far. So thank you. I thanked Easton and Blight Lord, which means I need to add 6 to this total again. Which is easier maths. I like easier maths. Thank you, people. Bang. There we go. Beautiful. We are a third of the way to the 100 total for the night. 391 people in chat. If everyone gifted 5 right now... if everyone gifted 5... I can't even keep a straight face. If everyone gifted 5 right now... I will take that studio space tomorrow. I can't say that for definite. They might refuse me, but you know. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the 5. Meeting another random Warhammer player is like meeting someone that speaks your native language in a foreign place. Exactly, 100%. Let's look at the positive chat. So I think the Space Marine, to be clear, I think the Space Marine range update is a mess and they've done it very, very badly. I am so conscious lately that it's very easy to fall into this negative trap in 40k right now.
Can we just admit that we didn't need this much changing to 9th edition? Vehicles needed to be stronger, app needed a drop, MWs needed reducing and universal special rules, but not this hot mess.
Right, James, thank you for the 10-year hero. Here's what I think happened, right? I think they had a bit of a roundtable, a bit of a conversation about the problems in 9th edition. This is what I think happened. We're never going to know the truth. I'd love to know the truth. Here's what I think happened. They had a round table. They had a conversation. This is what's wrong with 9th edition right now. These are the things that we feel like haven't quite hit properly. Here's the things we need to change. And I think, probably for the most part, I reckon they probably got it right. Vehicles need to be tougher. We need less AP. We need less mortal wounds. We need less this. We need more that. We need to perhaps bring universal special rules back. I reckon they had that conversation. And I think there's certain things that they have changed from... James, your ex-forces, right? Did you ever have a new CO come in, commanding officer come in, who changed something that wasn't broken? Changed something that was working perfectly fine, but he changed something because he needed it for his report so he could get his next promotion. It's not just military people. I'm sure this happens in jobs across the world. A new boss comes in, everything's working perfectly fine. They make a change which arguably makes the thing worse, but they do it because they need that promotion. Right? Super common. Super common. Stick Monkey, thank you so much for the gifted 5. You're a hero. What a legend. So I think that is arguably guiding what's happened here. Here's all the things that we've identified wrong with 9th edition. We need to make changes to it. And they make those changes. Cool, we make those changes. Oh, but what if we added this? Oh, good job. Well done, mate. Oh, but what if we added this? Oh, but what if we added this? Oh, but what if we added this? But what if we added... And then it's gone to this kind of stupid bloat level we've got right now. Right? That is what I think has kind of happened here. I reckon they've gone, here's 9th, here's fixed 40k, and I reckon they've travelled along to fixed 40k, and they just kept going through and past it until they've gone to where we are now, which is an absolute state. Right? My current job go brr, it's a Star Pilot 94. We've all worked under a person like that. 100% we've all worked under a person like that. Too many people think change equals innovation. 100% they do. Absolutely. And I think that's what's happened. Honestly. And then the problem we have is some of the people in the positions of power, when that officer comes in to that scenario, right? When that officer came in, when that new commanding officer comes in and makes a change, and you're all going, but sir, this is worse than it was, that officer's almost never going to say, yeah, we tried it, it didn't work, let's change it back to the old way. They'll change it again, but they'll never go back to the old way because they don't necessarily want to admit they were wrong in the first place. I was actually slightly surprised when GW talked about universal special rules, and the reason why I was slightly surprised was because it was kind of admitting a mistake by saying we're bringing universal special rules back in. It was kind of going, we made a cock up by actually getting rid of those, and by making them all individual and unique to every single army, what we've done is we've created complexity because we've got one rule that's worded 15 different ways, right? And I was kind of like, okay, hat off, you've kind of recognised that, because that's really rare, actually, in general. Not just for GW, but just in general, that's quite rare, right? But those officers will almost never change it back. So the problem we have is, for example, indirect, okay? Indirect at the end of 9th was fine, in my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree? In my opinion, it was fine. Indirect now is an absolute mess. Indirect didn't need changing. Didn't need changing. But they changed it anyway. So how would I have fixed indirect when they changed indirect recently? You know what I would have done? I would have just changed it back to what it was. What do they do? Put points up everywhere. Because they won't change it back, because that's admitting they did wrong. I think we are in for a... If we focus on the negatives and we continue to just be down about 10th, I think we're in for a rocky ride in the next 6 months. If we play crazy games, garage hammer, have fun, take the piss out of each other and play narrative 40k, I think we can still have a ton of fun together in the next 6 months. And I am also going to, if I'm honest with you, hard avoid competitive 40k. I'm just going to hard avoid it for me right now because I think it's going to be a dumpster fire. I'm not gonna play competitive at the moment. I have no interest. I've got no interest in LGT. I've got no interest in any kind of GT for that matter. I've got no interest in majors. I've got no interest in tournaments whatsoever right now. Because I feel like if I go to a tournament right now, any kind of tournament right now, I feel like if I go, I'm going to have a bad time. Genuinely, I think I'm going to have a bad time. When I go to a tournament, I have no interest in winning. I don't care about winning a tournament. and I'll be honest with you, chat, I'm probably not good enough to win a tournament. I almost definitely don't have a good enough list to win a tournament. Probably not good enough to win a tournament. So I don't actually care about tournaments, if I'm honest with you. I don't care about winning. But I like the tournament experience because I know that I can play 5 games against 5 random people and enjoy myself 99% of the time. I've had a couple of bad opponents in I don't know how many years of playing 40k, 10 plus years of playing 40k competitively, right? I've had a couple of bad experiences. A couple. That's it. A handful. And I've played a ton of competitive games. So I know if I know that I can go and I can at least give my opponent a game. I don't have to beat him. I don't have to score 100 points. If I can at least give him a game, and I can normally go to a tournament in previous editions with a list that I know is going to give most people a game, and we can have a laugh, and I can make new friends, and I can enjoy myself. And I genuinely don't feel comfortable or confident being able to do that in 10th. I felt there's such hard swings and such messes that exist currently in 10th edition that I can't confidently go to a tournament with a list knowing that whoever I play, I'm going to give them a good game, we're going to have fun, we're going to have a giggle, we're going to have a laugh, we're going to talk to each other. It's going to be close-ish at least. And even if it's not close-ish, there's no super feels bad moments, there's no jank. I can't do that right now. I can't do it right now. So I'm going to I'm going to hard avoid tournaments. Things like the Factorum narrative, which by the way is still linked as the first link in the video description below. Things like the Factorum narrative event that we're going to go to in August at Element Games. I'm going to that. I probably won't play, but I'm going to go to that and hang out because I think that is the secret for me right now. Right? So there we go. Warmaster Will, thank you for the 5. I want to play Matt at the weekend, reenactment of Siege of Vrax. Last few times I played him, it was a laugh. Don't care about the GT, just want to have fun games. Exactly. And this is the thing. I think most people, when they go to a tournament, it is about just going and getting 5 games in. A lot of people, like, I'm lucky. Well, I get to play once or twice a week every single week because of the channel, at least. And I'm really lucky in that perspective because I get to play lots of the thing that I like and the thing that I enjoy. And more importantly, because I get to play against people like Brom and Joe and Paddy and Chris. I get to play against people that I like playing against as well at the same time, right? So because of that, I'm very, very, very lucky. Before, when I used to go to tournaments quite a lot, it was my way of getting games in. And I think for a lot of people, that's still true. I can't play most days, most weeks. But that one weekend, I can go away and I can play 5 games and get my fix. I can get my fix of 40k, my fix of the hobby. And that's where I think this current state of the game is going to be a shame. Because for those people, I want to say hard avoid for now. But I don't want to say that because that's your only way of getting your fix in, right? It's tough, that one. It's tough. James Hobbs, by the way, thank you for the pill. If I told you, and Stick Monkey, I think I said this, but thank you for the 5 gifted. Puts us up to 39, chat. 39, almost 50% of the way there. Only half an hour to go. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and then Tyler comes in and gets his dick out. Boom! That's the sound of him dropping his dick on the table. Tyler, you absolute fuck. Tyler, by the way, people, is a special individual. He found the channel not too long ago. He's on basically every single stream. He super chats on basically every single stream. And he gives members on basically every single stream. And that includes our gaming channel that we stream on Mondays. ! Gaming if you want to hang out on that one. But our Call of Duty channel, which isn't really growing right now. He does it there as well. Unbelievable is Tyler. Thank you so much, Tyler, for the gifted 50. You absolute fucking legend. What a hero of the channel. That means I can now update this. 1326. What a legend. What a hero. What a man. What a guy. Oh, no, not 1362. 26. There you go. Thank you, Tyler. What an absolute legend. Love you. Tyler is a baller. He is 100%. He's actually one of our moderators on our gaming channel as well because he's in every single fucking stream. What a hero. What a hero. All right, we'll wait for this to clear through right now. Oh, we got something coming through. It's good. He's quite the cool lad. He is. Yeah, we love Tyler. Thanks, man. What a legend. Keep doing things like this. We're gonna have to find a family place for you as well to add to our family tree. Our family tree of 50 gifters.
Idea for narrative game. Mod or Gulag. What's his Cass's fate? Liam, you use knights with original towering rules. John plays Thousand Suns and can only see the cards 10 minutes before the game starts. Decided once and for all.
And if I win, then Yestin, he goes straight to Gulag, right? I'm into it. I'm up for that one as a comedy game. I'm into it. There's other things I want to do, right? So one of the reasons why we're looking at this from a content perspective, one of the reasons why we're looking at the studio space is because I want to build myself a nice, cozy little podcast setup. And I don't know whether I would use a sofa or whether I would use like a round table or something like that. I'm not sure how I would set it up just yet. But I want a nice little cozy podcast setup so we can invite guests. Here's the thing I'd like to do. It's risky, this. Very risky. Here's the thing I'd like to do is I'd like to invite... So when people do podcasts, they do guests, right? This is interesting. Typically, well, who do you see as guests on podcasts for 40k channels, right? Look at the painting phase, right? Great people, but typically who do you see as guests? Other creators, which is cool, and I love it, and there's some, and I enjoy the content. I'm not criticizing this. I think it's good. I like it. What don't you see as guests on podcasts for channels like this one? You guys. So imagine if we could build a nice little podcasting setup and we could invite, I don't know, Huskarls or Thanes to the studio to come and film a podcast for us. You could tell us about your hobby journey, things you like, things you don't like. It could be shit content that no one wants to watch. It could be really interesting. I think it could be fun. I actually kind of like it. I kind of like the idea. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Let me know. Do you think that's something you'd be interested in watching as pre-recorded podcast content where you get to come and spend a day with Joe and I and we talk to you on a podcast for perhaps an hour about your hobby journey? I think that'd be cool. I don't want to bring in other creators. I mean, I do want to bring in other creators, but more importantly, I want to bring in you guys and ask your stories and ask what you think. I think that'd be cool. Anyway. Brennan Duck, thank you for the 5 gifted, you fucking hero. Thank you also for the 5. It's so important right now to screen your opponents by asking whether their list is fluffy or competitive. Tournaments prevent you from doing that. Hard pass. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the 5, man. You're a hero. And thank you for the gifted legend as well. James, thank you for the 5. Obviously, start of new edition skews the numbers, but wonder what GT attendance has been like for 10th edition so far. I have no idea. I don't know if it's hyped or not, James, to be fair. I don't know. I think it'll be more interesting in like 3 months' time when it's settled a little bit. White Rabbit, thank you for the 5. Did you see new Games Workshop balanced manager position? Requirement is has to be a top tournament winner. Why? But I think they're asking the wrong people. Kyrios says, oh, she's not got a mic plugged in. But Kyrios says I should ask Luce if she wants to come on my podcast. She says she'd love to, Kyrios, but she has nothing to offer. Podcasts are basically a huge circle jerk. They are a bit, yeah, a little bit. Starius would be a good guess. So, will we get fed? There's a cafe next door. If you were to also set a theme for each episode, it could work. I love that, says Rat Bastardly. Just please make the rule that everyone has to take a shower before attending. They will, but the new one that we're looking at going into also has air conditioning. Dog. She's literally snorting like a warthog, and I can see the mic picking it up. Honestly. That sounds amazing. Mini Wargaming has the best setup since they can have people stay and film games at their place. I mean, it is cool. We couldn't do that. Why don't you use the Discord to do a phone in? I mean, we could do that. I'm very quality conscious though. Damn, Kiri Loose on a podcast would be so good, says Jonathan. Original idea, says Rat Bastardly. I will fly from Canada to the UK just to be on a podcast. There we go. Surely Mr. John has to be the first. I mean, if he wants to, I'd love that. Come chat about Black Templars, maybe even play a game with you guys and literally down the road from you. I mean, that's the thing we could do as well. That'd be a really cool day. Like, if you could come to the studio, film a pre-recorded game. So everything that okay, caveat first, chat, right? Caveat first. If you are and excuse me using the term, if you are a random guest, not a person who is a content creator, I will not be putting you on live content because the risk is too great. We can do screening and stuff, and someone can turn up on live content and say something fucking horrendous. And so I can't take that gamble. That being said, if you turn up for a day, pre-recorded battle report, hour-based podcast, here's how I would do it. Is you turn up in the morning, and the first thing we would do in the morning is we would sit and do an hour's podcast, okay, with Joe and I. That breaks the ice, gets you talking, gets us comfortable with each other. Then we go to the gaming table and we film a 40k battle report with either myself or Joe, right? Which we put out as pre-recorded content. So one day with a person turning up at the studio, we get 2 videos out of it. I think that could be really fun. I think that could be really cool. I can't do that now for 2 reasons. I don't have a podcast set up, and it means random people coming to my house, and I don't like that.
I love the podcast with regulars. Sadly, I'm across the pond and would never get to participate. Pensive face.
There has to be a way that we can make it work with people abroad with some kind of video-based dial-in. I think there has to be a way. Matt, thank you for the 5. Driving cross country and happy to catch you live. Love you all so much. Best 10th edition rule change. Worst. I mean, that's a very hard question to answer. Worst one for me is probably the changes to fly. It's just a faff now to try and work it out. It's just killed fly. I think that's probably one of the worst ones for me personally. Best change to 10th edition. bringing back universal special rules. Does that work? 100% agree. Never trust people you meet on the internet. No, absolutely. How about a campaign pivot? Cast for live content? God, no. God, no. God, no, God, no. Oh, by the way, after Brennan's 5, which I need to add on, we are at 94 new members. Just 6 to go, chat. Just 6 to go for the famed 100 a night. And if we can keep that up, we'll hit the 1,500 total for the month as well. You ballers. Hoken Paints, thank you for the 5. Do you think that with Games Workshop sending almost whole armies to Legends, we'll see a resurgence in older editions of 40k? No. No. I have for the longest time considered trying to do a pre-recorded series where we go through the ages, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition, etc. And I picked up a couple of rule books recently and had a read of them, had a scan of them, and I was like, this is going to be too hard, and we won't do a good job of representing that edition. Because can you imagine it? Like, if you currently we're trying to tune ourselves hard into 10th edition. So imagine we then tried to play 3rd edition, we'd get so much wrong. Guaranteed, we'd get so much wrong. And then I wouldn't be giving you a true 2nd edition experience, for example. Okay, so that's why we can't do the series. Do I think they'll come back because people can use their old armies? There's a little part of me that kind of hopes that what we actually see instead is people more accepting of Legends rules. And you know how, like, there was this community thing where people carried on with the old fantasy game? It would be cool to see a community thing where people continue to balance Legends rules. And it becomes like an accepted standard. I think that would be cool. Where we see people play older editions, I'm not sure. Playing old editions take my fucking money, says James Odds. I'd love to see a few games of old editions. I could probably do 7th, maybe, just about. I probably couldn't do 5th, for example. Anyway, Squirrel Noob, Mordy Hammer, Crisis, thank you all for the gifted 1. You're all hero. And Hoken Pace, thank you for the 5 as well, man. You're a hero. Thanks for that donate. What a legend. Thank you for the 3. I will add them now. Boop, boop, boop. 97. We're getting there. 2nd edition is so simple, though. It's hard to really get. I don't think I ever played 2nd edition, to be fair. There's some cool old rules, though, right? Danny, thank you for the 5. Just combine Firstborn and Primaris to have the same stat lines. They're only visually different. Tacticals and Intercessors. So that's what I would do with Space Marines. That's what I would have done from the start, actually. The whole Primaris release, for me personally, one of the reasons why we're in this mess right now with this Space Marine range update is because the whole Primaris update and release has been done badly and wrong. What I should have done is taken every kit that exists, upscaled it into this new mark of armor, or changed it to Phobos and released new units, or brought out Gravis, but not got rid of. They should have replaced it. They should already be a Primaris equivalent for Jump Marines. They should already be a Primaris equivalent for Stern Guard, etc. And then they should release those over time, and they shouldn't have added any new data sheets. Should have just been the same data sheets. So Tactical Marines, you can use this box of Firstborn, or you can use this box of Intercessors. Doesn't matter. Same unit. And then eventually we're going to stop selling the Firstborn and keep selling the Intercessors, but the data sheet's the same, so your old box is still relevant. Probably what I would have done. Alan, thank you so much for the gifted 5, and then another gifted 1. Oh my god, we're right over now. You can stop now, chat. That's enough. Thank you, you fucking heroes, for pushing us over the famed 100 for the night. You bloody legends, I love you. The one thing I hate about Primaris, all models in squad have same weapon. I hate it. Every other faction can have special weapons incorporated in the units. Very unrealistic and stupid for competitive play. But again, this is the other thing I would have done, White Rabbit, is I would have literally just made them Mark 10 Tactical Marines. That's what I would have done. I think they made a mistake with the Primaris. I don't know whether they think they made a mistake with Primaris. I'm sure they've sold enough that their shareholders would probably assume that they didn't make a mistake. I think they made a mistake with Primaris. Honestly. Me and my friends have already agreed that Legends are legit and will update them as needs be. We don't want to see our Firstborn players quit the game. That's good. I think that's positive. I think we see more of that right now. I miss 5th edition. That's what I started, and I miss those days. It felt more like D&D and had a certain amount of randomness. I missed some more of randomness. I think tournaments have my personal opinion is that tournaments have been bad for the rule set, if I'm honest with you. I started writing a hybrid version of 3rd, but since Games Workshop's latest round of model retiring, I can't be asked with 40k at the moment, says Paint at Dawn. That's a shame. I get it, though. I understand, honestly. Lee Morris says, I would love to do the podcast in game, and I would buy food for the host. I mean, that's going to get you an invite. Fly is good. Get used to Hydras. Sounds like a good plan, plus a great way to get more army variety on the channel too. Exactly. I've wanted to, honestly, right, people, honestly, I've wanted to bring you guys in for pre-recorded for ages, but I won't bring, I love you all dearly, right? I love all 370 people watching me right now because you're here watching, super chatting, being members, just chatting in general. I love you all for that. But I don't like the idea of you being in my house because I don't know who you are, and it's a bit weird, right? And sometimes people turn up and they're lovely people like Joe, and sometimes they turn up and they're like Eddie, and yeah. So, you know, thank you so much, Mr. Death, for the 5. Narratively introduce a character that can fly, give them a keyword in 9th, then remove it in 10th. Poor Avocado, his introductory lore, for fuck's sake. I know. His whole narrative piece is that he flies across the sky in his burning steed, and he had the fly keyword. And everybody in 9th edition, when it came out, who told me that he shouldn't be flying and I'm cheating by using that rule, I showed them the narrative and was like, look, he flies in the narrative. They're like, oh, okay. Because you know what? Rules should reflect narrative. That's the way this game should work. Rules shouldn't reflect the most balanced competitive nonsense. It should reflect narrative. I was like, look at the narrative. He flies. They're like, oh, yeah. So he does. He actually does fly. Oh, yeah. See? Perfect. He flies. Shut your fucking cake-hole. And then, 10th edition, take it away from him. They didn't need to take it away from him. They've already made fly dog shit. Pizza podcast on me, says Rat Bastard the Hero. What a legend. I love that name, by the way. I can't start reading. I bet you can't wait for Mikey to do the video on what happens the first time you go live with a stream rando. I bet you can't wait for Mikey to do the video on what happens the first... I won't go live with randoms. Won't do that. Perfectly understandable, dude. I would feel the same way in your position. Yeah, well, exactly. You know, it's not just the fact that I got loose here. There's 2 small kids in this house as well. And again, people like Eddie exist, right? You have to keep people like Eddie away from children. So we won't... we won't... Well, screw you. That's the last happy ending you're getting off me, says Dats and Des. Well, you know. Totally normal, Liam. Can't have strangers come into your house for any reason. You've got kids and a wife too. Huge risk. You never know these days. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are some people... There's people that I would have as guests because I know them though and they're friends, but I don't like. I feel a bit shitty. So that's why we've just got the team right now. We've got the set team. But if we can get in this new studio place, and if you guys continue with this this sounds like a lot of pressure on you people. But if you continue with this generosity stream on stream, it becomes something that is in fact viable and real. If we can do that, it could be something that I could actually potentially contemplate as an expense, and then we end up being able to bring you people in. Ultimately, this is what I'm saying, right? Here's what I'm saying. We're not going to stop doing what we're doing. We're not going to wind it down anytime soon. We have the potential maybe to bring more in the future. I can't do it in our current space. I want to do it. I want to bring more. Joe and I have tried a few times to do pre-recorded games in the studio in a way that I would like. It doesn't work.
You do know some of us.
I do, and some of you are lovely, Emil. Absolutely lovely. Some of you have already been in my house. That's fine. Because I know you. It's different though, right? Kirios says, I'm not even allowed in Liam's house. You absolutely are, John. You know you are.
Primaris should have always been a direct replacement for Firstborn, and tell people that the Firstborn will be phased out for true scale Marines. We would all have bought them, as they look better.
I agree. I absolutely agree. 100%, Sir Galahad. Thank you for the 10 as well. And Emil, thank you for the 10. You're a hero. Eddie, I'm here just crying into my Weetabix. You're here tomorrow night, Eddie, as well, aren't you? Eddie's back tomorrow, chat, with his Necrons. And Eddie's record for highest number of members in a stream didn't last very long. But he's back. I'm actually excited to see Eddie tomorrow. Neutral territory. Pub, Element Games is fucking like a 5-hour drive for me. So it's not really neutral territory. I'd better off of a studio that's going to be 50 minutes away, to be honest with you. I worked as a bartender for 10 plus years. There was so that there was a 4-foot wall between me and all children, keep them away from me. What do you mean I can't come to your house and interact with your family? I'm totally not a nutter. I mean, I've been to plenty of events and tournaments. Let's be quite honest, chat. If we're all completely honest with ourselves, we're all fucking nutters, by the way. Can't wait for Eddie tomorrow, says Demon Russ. Apparently, I'm not allowed near kids. My wife won't be impressed. Well, it doesn't look like you, so you're all right. It's not yours. Eddie and the Stationary King. And if he's bringing the king. Necrons are my only joy in 10th edition so far. Well, Necrons will be live tomorrow. Hang on, Eddie, wait. We did settle on Necrons tomorrow, didn't we? Not Grey Knights. Is that correct? Is that correct? Here, that I've got recorded permission. You're more than welcome, John. But I know you and I've met you. It's different. It's fine. Once you get a studio, you can do pre-recorded games with random members. Just face-hide them for a few minutes and get to know them a bit before invite them to the studio. Pre-screening. So there'll be a screening process. There has to be a screening process, White Rabbit, absolutely. So first thing I'll need is the full name so I can check the sex offenders register. And and then I'll need photos of armies and stuff like that, though. In seriousness, we need to make sure the army doesn't look complete trash for camera and that it's kind of themed and has a color scheme that isn't just 3D. You know, standard stuff, right? And then this is what I'm saying. My theory is if we pull you in and do a members podcast with you first for an hour where we introduce you, get to know you, and then link it to the battle report afterwards, we use that podcast as the icebreaker, get to know each other, sit and have a brew, a couple of biscuits in the morning, and then in the afternoon we film the game. That's a really nice day. I think that's a really cool day to have. And the podcast doesn't even have to be an hour, right? The podcast could be a half an hour episode. It's enough to break the ice, have a conversation, get to know people. So when we get on the battle report, there's nothing worse than on a battle report with random people, that awkwardness right at the start where they don't kind of really know how to gauge each other or talk to each other. And I'm hoping you can remove some of that by doing the podcast. And because it's a podcast where you're literally just there to talk, people find that easier. But maybe I'm wrong. We're going to have to try it. We can't try it till we have the space. So there's the stepping stones. Soups, I completely get it. Even though I followed you home and know where you live, there's no way I just expect to be invited in because that's not cool. I don't entirely disbelieve you, Soups. That's the problem. I'm out of the running again if there's no trash armies rule. Your armies are not trash, sir. But there's definitely podcasting and biscuits, Gareth, and I know you'll be in for that. So, you know. Liam wants to pull members. I want to tug on all of them. Am I allowed on camera or am I too good looking? Who do you think said that, Luce? A person who talks to us regularly, who do you think said, am I allowed on camera or am I too good looking? We have already seen this person in real life, yes. I don't know if the silence is a good sign or a bad sign, chat. I don't know if that's because she thinks that so many of you would say it or if she thinks that none of you would say it. You got a guess? We're seeing them again soon. Yeah, it's Mr. the Rambo. She guessed it. She guessed it. Doubles games. We could do... Well, maybe. I need to... So here's the other thing. I want to work out my pre-recorded format because I don't want to just have a camera like this and do the whole game behind one camera because I know some of you will disagree with me. Me personally, I fucking hate that format. I hate filming it. I hate editing it. I hate the whole thing. I hate the way it looks. I hate the way it feels. So I need to figure out a format that works for filming in the new studio should we ever get there. Okay. If I can figure out a way that works, that not only works for a 1v1 but also works for a 2v2, 100% I'd be open for doing doubles as well. And you can come down with a friend. That's fine. That's fine. So Luce must think he's good looking. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rambo is a handsome chap. I'd bang him. Have you... Oh, no. Are we going to... I have a problem. In 9 minutes, it's the end of the stream, we would normally have a loose fact. Are you going to plug in just for the fact? No. She's not going to plug in for loose facts tonight, chat. You're not going to get one. So I need a fact from you, chat. Bolter Bro, welcome to the channel as a Jarl tier member. What a hero. Thank you for joining us. Get yourself a Discord, ! Discord to come and join us on the Great Hall server. And because you've come at Jarl tier, there is a giveaway currently active in Discord for Jarl tiers and above. You can win yourself a Combat Patrol box if you are the lucky selected winner at random on Friday in the 40k After Dark stream. Will Eddie do the makeup for the camera? Yes. Eddie is the makeup guru. We need the facts, says Luton. We do, I know. Boo, says Russ. I know. I'm sorry. I can't force her. No, it's... What's it called? What's the segment called? What's the segment called? What's the segment called? What is the segment called? Chat, what's the segment called? Loose fact. Already they're saying it. Loose fact. No. No. Segment's called loose fact. I can't read a fact out. That's not how it works. I'm not taking a fact. Luton says, see, look, it's anarchy in chat right now. Yeah, I know. What are we even doing here then? He says. I want the stream to keep going, says Rat Bastardly. Fun fact, owls are by far the least intelligent of all birds of prey. That's true. That's not a loose fact, though. Tyler, thank you for the 5. How much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. Way! Do I can't. We hear loose fact. You can come over here and do it.
No. No boobs on stream.
What? I need. They're okay, you're not going to get one chat tonight. On Friday, right? Neat shit for loose on Friday now. Honestly. Random fact, the number of pleats in a chef's hat is meant to represent how many different ways that chef could cook an egg. I, in that case, would have a hat like a Thunderbird. Fucking fried or boiled, done. That's it. Chris Bays is I'm only here for loose facts. I'm sorry, chat. She's letting you all down tonight. I'm sorry. Here's a fact. Luce has let us all down. Fun fact, says Pickle Nick. The swimming pool in the Titanic is still full. It's even fuller now, isn't it? Fact on Friday, no bell. Yeah, no bell on Friday now. It's banned. Boo, this woman, says Tyler. Boo. I subbed. Bastardly, I subbed for fuck all. Kira says there's got to be riots for this. Riots. Another owl fact. They're one of the slowest flyers, yet in Harry Potter, owls are their delivery birds. Animal cruelty, that.
What, weighing them down?
No, just because they're slow. They've got to travel all that way. Let the stream burn, says Ankron. John H says, is she naked again? Yeah, exactly. That's why.
There's the winner of our convenient handover right there.
Ben? Oh, we posted that. Ben, have you received your package? Did you receive your convenient package? Straight off of Google Quick Facts. Dolly Parton once lost a Dolly Parton lookalike competition. No. If you're not going to plug your microphone in, I don't want to hear your fucking fact.
Okay.
I'm not interested. You can't just sit there, say, I'm not going to give a fact, but I've got a fact for you.
Very true.
Ben, did you receive your parcel yet? When did it go? It went on Monday. Did it go on Monday? I think it went Monday. When did it go? It did go on Monday, didn't it? Yeah, it went on Monday on 48, so you should have it already. Maybe tomorrow. Tim Chaser, thank you for this. I had to really think then because I can't remember when we got it picked up. Tim, thank you for the gifted 10 memberships. Yeah. I did. My good man arrived today. There you go. Cool. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Tim of the Chaser variety. You fucking hero. We love Tim. Tim is a legend. Legend of the channel, legend of the community. Thank you so much. What a hero. Oh shit, I did. My good. You can, fun fact is, Matt, you can fit at least 12k. What? Hang on, what? You can fit at least 12,000 pheasant chicks in a 15-passenger van. Can currently confirm. I'm not sure I even want to know why. It's time to replace Luce with Joe. Unusual facts about owls: they don't cross large bodies of water, so are stopped expanding by seas. Shark facts. These are great. This is a whole stream for Friday. Shark facts. So we're gonna Friday's focus now, chat, is gonna be loose fact stream. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna take the bell now, and every 10 minutes I'm gonna bang it, and she's got to give us a fresh fact. No? That sounds like fun. Shark fact. Sharks have no bones. It's all. Hang on. How the fuck do you read that word? Cartilaginous skeleton, and you can tell their age by counting the rib. That sounds like it's not a tree. It's a shark. It sounds like nonsense now. Ferret's Revenge. Sounds like nonsense. Yeah. Yeah. Off to find a shark. Maybe not. Maybe not. Right, chat. I think we probably have come to the conclusion that the Space Marine stuff hasn't been done particularly well, right? I think on the most part we're in agreement. That it probably, if this was going to happen, it probably should have happened in the transition between 9th and 10th edition. They shouldn't have brought rules out for you people straight away, so you can go and buy them, and then now have to kind of contemplate the fact that you just spent money that again has been made obsolete. I feel like a lot of this would be solved with much more communication from them in the long run, and I feel like we need to, at the moment at least, see an end in sight for when they're going to stop making units and things obsolete. Because at the moment, it feels like they're taking away as much as they're giving right now. I would kind of like them to go, hey, look, we've got a couple more purges to do.
This new purge has lost me $1,100 worth of my Kacharadon's army, including the heresy losses. That's over $2,400 of wasted plastic. I started my army 2 years ago, so it's not old purchases. GG. Fun.
Steve, I feel really bad for you. Thank you so much for the 10, man. You're a hero. In the past, when the heresy rules came out and they said they were getting rid of all this heresy stuff, the Legends, I was like, everyone email GW customer service. And everyone got the same dog shit response. You've got Legends rules, you can still use them. At this point, I think we need to categorically accept the fact that the stuff that's going to Legends is staying in Legends, and I don't think they're ever going to reverse that decision and bring some stuff back. I was hoping that enough pressure on the heresy stuff might convince them, especially for Chaos players at least, to bring some of these rules back as actual rules. I feel like perhaps that's not going to happen. So my next kind of mini campaign, for the few people that watch, is that we, I think, perhaps campaign towards normalizing Legends rules more often. I kind of would like that the only competitive events you can't use Legend rules out are GW official ones, because fuck them. I don't know how, or if that's even, I don't know if it's feasible or possible, but at the moment, like, we for the longest time have basically never used Legends rules on the channel. And we've never used Legends rules on the channel because Legends rules are not well supported, arguably bring imbalance in. So I feel like what we're going to probably do with the channel, at least, especially because we're going down this narrative route, is we're going to allow, maybe to some extent even encourage Legends rules. So Joker still uses Chaos stuff. Brom's got like Ultramarines, bikes, and jump infantry and scouts and stuff. I don't want these people to be able to not use a lot of their models anymore. And if we look at Steve's super chat, $1,100 worth of stuff, $2,400 in total. I'm hoping if we can normalize the use of Legends in your area, then perhaps some of that stuff is still playable and you still get use out of it. Would you prefer to just rip the band-aid off and take all the firstborn away now? Honestly, personally, Chris, I kind of would, but I don't think it's going to go down well, and I don't think it's a popular choice. So the answer is yes and no. Yes, because I want a significant reduction in Space Marine data sheets. No, because it fucks so many people. So I don't know the answer. The answer was to not get themselves in the mess in the first place. Unfortunately, we're there now. Matt, thank you for the 5. My family owns a pheasant hatchery and hunt club. We sell them all over the country. I'm transporting 12,000 of them to Ohio, from Ohio to GA. Where's GA? What's GA? What state is GA? I'm assuming OH is Ohio. Massachusetts. No, is it Massachusetts? MA Massachusetts? Missouri? I don't know America like I think I should. Joe fact, he only breathes out when he sighs. Oh, Eddie, love you. Narrative, where are we going? Where we are going, we don't need rules. We're fucking right, we don't. Bastards. Georgia? It's Georgia. I didn't know that. Okay. Interesting. Maybe, probably. I don't know. I don't know state. I don't know. I know very few state shorthands. Typically the ones I've been to. I know California and Arizona. That's it. The ones I've been to. Right. All right. Cool. Anyway, you people have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Fun Brom fact: the sound of him flipping through a codex can be heard as far as 10 miles away. How much of Joe's Raven Guard army got Legends? Well, actually, most of his Raven Guard army, Tim, is Primaris, so he's probably okay. Anyway, you people have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You guys are incredible. Tomorrow night, Eddie is back with his... mate is Massachusetts. Cool. Eddie's back with his Necrons, taking on Joe, and I think he's bringing his Black Legion, so you can watch Joe's soul slowly leave his body live on camera tomorrow night. But we are excited to see Eddie again, because we love Eddie. And then on Friday, we have 40k After Dark, 9:30 to 11 p.m. on Friday. Come and hang out with us for the end of the week celebration. I need to order some mead, like literally straight after the stream, otherwise it's not going to be here in time. So the end of the week celebration happens on Friday. I'm going to hang out, drink some mead, and if you like just chatting nonsense, if you like the conversation, it is absolute bollocks on Friday. Luce will be here with her Mike as well. So you can all abuse her about a missing fact then, all right? But it will be lots of fun because it's a Friday night stream. It's just... Lily said to me today, do you want me to stay on Friday? I was like, you're fucking right, because we just chat shit. There's almost nothing for... Warn you now, there's almost nothing 40k on Friday, but we celebrate the end of the week, we get ready for the weekend, okay? And then next... Is it... Hang on. Next week is a whole new month? Is that right? It is. Tuesday's the 1st, which means Thursday next... Fuck, it's August already. Thursday next week is therefore chat plays. Because we missed it this last week because I was poorly sick. Cool. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for watching us. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for the incredible support. We ended on 113 new members. You beautiful humans. Only 218 likes. So if you haven't already, hit that like button before you disappear. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.